Hello YouTube, my name is Maureen and welcome to Read Reads. I should probably adjust this before I start every time. I do that all the time. But anyway, I have a review for you guys. I'm freshly showered, thank God. But I do have a review. I absolutely love this book, and with the summer upon us in its full heat, this may cool things down a little bit for you. May just remind you of, cooler weather. Um, but again, this book is really phenomenal. I cannot thank Spellbound Books enough for putting this on their challenge. I was so very happy to read it. This is The Snow Child by, I have been saying Eowyn. It's probably not how you pronounce it. Eowyn Ivey. Probably not how you say it at all. Um, but that's the book, The Snow Child. I love the cover. It's just really like almost like simplistic but very modern. It's just very cute. Um, so the story follows a couple named Jack and Mabel, and they were originally located outside of Philadelphia, and they moved to Alaska to try and find a better life. And they are not very old, but they're an older couple, and they do not have children. They tried to have a child once, and that didn't go very well. So with all the snow, the very first snow, they make this snowman child. So it's not really necessarily a snowman, but they make a snow child, and they wrap her in like a scarf and set her for the night. And they wake up the next morning, and the snow child is gone. But what they do see, they see a little child running through the woods of Alaska, and they find out that her name is Faina, and she comes into their life and kind of, you know, makes things very interesting for Jack and Mabel. So this book, as you can tell, it's a little on the thicker side, but to be exact here, it comes in at 386 pages, so about almost 100 over average, but with the typeface and everything, you kind of just go through it fairly quickly. If you're interested in the story at all, that helps move things along. All of the characters had this very interesting air about them. I felt like they all had some kind of mystery, and they weren't all, at face value. They all had something deeper going on with them, which was very cool. Um, the book was actually written, again, she was raised in Alaska, and she, came across this story and wanted to write it, and it was just, I don't know, I just felt like everything was just very, like, came from the heart with this book. Unfortunately, I haven't gone to look recently to see how people rated it on Goodreads, but I rated it very high. I think I gave it 5 stars, maybe 4 or 5 stars. I'm not really sure. But again, the characters are all very interesting. They all have this very mysterious side. So you're kind of always wondering like what they're thinking, or what's going to happen next with them, and they're not very predictable, which is very cool. The story itself is completely interesting. It kept me reading late at night. I always wanted to read in my spare time just so I could know what was going to happen next. And it paces itself very well. So it's like I say sometimes on here that it's a slow burn. It's very much the case here. It's that slow, alright, so then this happens, and then you get to find out why, and then their reactions. And then this happens, and you get to find out why, and their reactions. And then it starts another thing, so that's all very awesome. The setting of Alaska was, it made you want to visit, and, Alaska may be like the farthest place that you'd want to move from people's, that's like the last place you would think of to go, but made me really want to visit there. It just seems like a very magical place, just a very interesting, cultured place, and it's still part of the United States. So it's not, it feels like a foreign area, but it's still very much home. So I think that's very cool. Um, Book is set in the 1920s, so lately I've been loving books set in that time period. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because I wish I was from a different time. Um, but again, with the time period, it's all, even though it's from, it's written in the 1920s and, the setting is in 1920s, it's still a story that you could place in today's settings and today's like style, I guess, and it would all still very make sense. So, to me, it was a timeless book. And would I suggest this book? Very much so. Who would I suggest it to? Pretty much everyone. I feel like there's a lot of everyone, or there's like something that everyone would like in the story. So I feel like you guys should check it out. It's very cool. Again, this was The Snow Child by Eowyn Ivey. So y'all should check it out. Alright, I think that's it. So YouTube. Till we meet again.